watch out for Eric, a green Amazon white-crested parrot on the loose. Now, a composer is writing a 4-minute musical inspired by old postcards sent from Cleethorpes during the 20th century. Stuart Wood bought 200 postcards after moving to the town last year. He's now working with local community groups to write Postcards from Cleethorpes and hopes it'll be finished by next year.
And realising that this had been put in a postbox in Cleethorpes 120 years ago, I just was so inspired by the story. And as a music theatre maker, I thought there's got to be a musical in this.
When it is finished and ready, we will put it on the programme, I'm sure.
Squashing.
Should we squash in a little bit?
Oh, it's actually
do you want to be on the telly?
too tight, so let's
Okay, you can probably move back a little bit actually, because the microphone's otherwise you just pick up loads of the microphones and we're all looking at it. Keep going back a bit. When you include a lot of people, it takes longer, but when you get there, it's a more joyful experience because there's more of you on the train. You know what I mean?
Oh, I think it's been a great experience. I loved it.
So, funnily enough, the colour that we've got on the actual footage that hasn't been altered is the real colour. So that is everything that is happening on the Cleethorpes beach and the Humber Sand itself. So, for example, these shots of the Ferris wheel, that hasn't been touched, it hasn't been altered. And that is the real colour of Cleethorpes. And I think one of the things that makes it really beautiful is actually you've got the real joy of this wheel, but the melancholy of the colours of the Humber behind it, and that duality is one of the things that makes the shot so beautiful and actually aids the story visually so well.
Disguised as a sea. There's a wonderland. Since the divorce, been dreaming of seashores. Do-wop, be-do-wop, be-do-wenty-boy.
Make it tragic, it's very sad. Okay.
I thoroughly enjoyed the brass band you brought in.
Exactly, yeah.
You all right with that? As opposed to the eye one?
Yeah, have a play with it. Oops, hold on a second. It's coming there. Oops. Here it comes.
This is the 3-minute mark.
songwriting, for me, it's all about tension and release.
Yeah.
You know, the longer you can hold that tension, then when it's released, the greater the pleasure to the listener.
Of course, yeah.
And so in a way, by being on the 7th of the note, do you know what I mean? So you've got that responsibility.
So it's like one note.
Yes, you've got that responsibility of holding that tension.
Yeah.
But you couldn't be more.
Composer is writing a musical inspired by old postcards sent from Cleethorpes. Stuart Wood bought
BBC Radio Humberside.
Hi, morning all. It's me, Coffee Smiles, your friendly neighbourhood smile maker, and this is awesome, a historic collection of postcards sent from Cleethorpes. And our Lara King has been to meet Stuart. I love this, Lara. I love it.
Oh, wow. Listen to that. Beautiful. Oh, Stuart, the man playing is Stuart Wood. We're sitting at your piano, your beautiful piano, in your lovely house here in Cleethorpes. And tell me a bit about Postcards from Cleethorpes. What is it all about?
I arrived in Cleethorpes a year ago, and I am from Lincolnshire, but I decided to come and live by the sea. And the first thing I did was went onto Facebook Marketplace and typed in vintage. And what came up was a collection of postcards from Cleethorpes. And it was their father's collection. They really wanted it to go somewhere where it could create some value. And as soon as I had them in my hands, I thought, oh my God, this is like a musical, because the messages on the back were so interesting and kind of, you know, secretive. And I thought, wonder what's going on here. And so it just was beginning to tell me stories. And so Postcards from Cleethorpes came from that, really. It's like a 4-minute musical. It's like a pop song, but a musical in 4 minutes.
That's amazing that you can do it. And we just heard a taste of it, but I know you don't want to give too much away.
So basically, I had this idea of kind of longing, because it's about a person that arrives in Cleethorpes and they've just gone through divorce and they, you know, are not quite sure where they're going. And I love Cleethorpes because it's a town that was built as a pleasure garden in a way, you know. So the idea of coming to a pleasure garden when you're going through a crisis, I think it already has a story in it. So I had this idea of like the fun fair, or just the kind of idea of something that isn't quite finished, which is this is the first theme, which is and so so that was the first bit. That's the kind of fairground bit. Yeah,
so it's a sort of a seasidey musical, but in 4 minutes.
Round and around like the wheel on the sand, the course of our love never ran smooth. It's the end of
4 minutes, yes, and it's a duet, so it's kind of across 2 continents. And
did I read that it might be used to sort of promote Cleethorpes? Is that right?
We don't know. I think the council want to see how good it is first, but I think the idea is that as Cleethorpes begins to wake up for the summer season, I mean, we love Cleethorpes in the winter, obviously, but Postcards from Cleethorpes could be a way of just sort of saying, here we are, and there's so much to this place that you can come and experience and enjoy, and it's all still here.
You don't mind just giving us another little taste, yeah?